I'm davidgsheshnag.com. What on earth is Kundalini? I'm a pretty lucky person. Last year I was pretty lucky. Met the most esteemed author on the planet to do with Ayurveda, the subject of nutrition aligned with the tantric philosophy, and the biggest researcher of the tantric cult, or whatever you want to call it, of the Agori. His name's Dr. Robert Svoboda. How did I meet him? Oh, it's crazy. I met Bruce Lipton this year, which was even crazier, but there's a video on that already. Last year I was thinking I wouldn't mind hanging around people that I can validate, or they can validate me. More so they can validate me, because I'm a bit lonely in the isolated island of Tasmania. So I look in the yoga magazine and I find the yoga conference. I thought $500 and $600. I don't want to be paying that much to go and hang around people that are just going to be talking about stuff that I already know about. And plus, yoga's skewed, mate. In this culture, it's about some misinterpretation, or some endorses some misidentification of people's egos. They do it for relaxation. Anyway, went through the magazine a bit more and I found the Byron Bay Spirit Festival, or it's called the Byron Spirit Festival. So I thought, oh yeah, wouldn't mind going there. It's a reasonable price. So next thing, I look on the website. It says you can volunteer there. I thought, oh, okay, I'll volunteer. So next thing, I go there for free. All I've got to do is pay for flights. So I fly up there. A friend lends me his, what is it? Speed Triple, 1995 model. Oh, it was awesome bike. Went down, stayed with my friend Sufi at just outside of Mullumbimby, attend the conference. But before I do, Sufi says, we'll go to the volunteer meeting. After we go there, there's a 5 Rhythms dance workshop that's just down the road. She said, I'll be leaving at 6:40. The meeting finishes about close to 7. So you just walk down there, down the main street. You'll see a hall with people in it. Walk in and have a go. I thought, okay, well, I'm not into the dancing so much. Like, I do dance in the spirit of unity and try and embody the bliss. But it's not my gig. I'm not into the ecstatic dances. I'm not into the peaceful dances. I'm into knowing shit and working it out. But anyway, I thought, yeah, I'll go and watch these people dancing in their 5 dimensions and try and work out what the heck they're doing. So the meeting finishes, the volunteer meeting. We're all allocated a position. Next thing, I walk down there. I walk up the street only about 20 metres. I see this hall. There's about 30 people in there. I walk in there. A couple of people at the door. I said, oh, they're not like security or anything. I'm just talking about walking in the door, and then they're just standing there as a part of the 30 people that are accumulated in this room. I said, is this the 5 Rhythms dancing? They said, no, this is the facilitators meeting for the Byron Spirit Festival. I look around at all these important people that are doing the workshops for the weekend. I'm only a volunteer, come here for free to clean dunnies and clean rubbish. I look around and I think, oh, this will do. So I just hang out. So I scam my way into this meeting to do with the facilitators. Blessed am I, because I'm just sitting in there. I'm not eating too much of the free food, but I'm eating a little bit. Maybe I have a cup of tea or something. I just like to check people out, especially on a spiritual level, because I can see into everyone's soul, which is insane for me, but it's just me. I can't help it, and that's the reason why a lot of people that aren't spiritual are confronted by me. But anyway, I'm in this room and I'm sitting there talking to a person or two. Next thing, in walks Robert Svoboda. And I think, oh, lucky me. I'm into this research in Kundalini. He's been researching it. He's 60 years old. He's been researching it since he was 16. 44 years he's been writing about it. He's the most esteemed person on the planet to do with the subject of the Agori and Ayurveda, and he knows about Kundalini. Next thing, he walks within half a metre off me. I look at him and say, "Are you Robert Svoboda?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "My name's Om Devaji." He said, "Who?" I said, "Om Devaji." I didn't expect him to know me, but next thing, I spent half hour in his company, talking, just him and I. I was so blessed. Oh, mate, here I am, I get chills when I think about it. Oh, it's beautiful and divine coordination of the great being to be able to put me in the presence of someone so esteemed, so knowledgeable, for me to be able to receive validation and a pat on the back to go, "Good on you, Omji," not from old Robert, but from God himself, as if to say, "You're on the right path. We'll coordinate this blessing for you because you've put in the sacrifice and the effort to actually come here. You've dedicated your life to researching this experience through the yogic context. Here you go. Spend 25-30 minutes in the company of this great master who influences a lot of people, benefits a lot of people, has the knowledge second to none. He's the most esteemed author on the planet to do with this subject." Next thing, mate, we just have a good conversation about Kundalini, about the yogic context. We have a few jokes. It's like, wow, I'm so humbled by the ability to coordinate that experience by the great being, because it's so perfectly divine, coordinated and precise. I love precision. So that's about it. That's how I met Dr. Robert Svoboda. Lucky me. I am humbled. I don't see myself as being above anyone. I am blessed by the experience. Then, crazily enough, before I went to the festival, I thought, I'll look at the program. Robert Svoboda's talking on one day for 1 hour. I thought, if I want to see anyone, I'll volunteer for the whole 3 or 4 days. But if I want 1 hour off, it'll be that 1 hour where he talks about whatever he's talking about. After that first night, which was on the Thursday night, I didn't have to go and see him for that hour. I was so lucky to have him for half an hour to myself. I'm still blessed by the experience and still humbled. But his turn came round on Saturday for the talk. I was listening to it and I got the opportunity to ask him after it, could he give me 5 minutes of his time to give his opinion of the Goal of Yoga for the Goal of Yoga documentary, because his knowledge is second to none for a Westerner. So, after his hour, everyone makes a beeline for him. He's so busy that he can only give people maybe 2 or 5 minutes max. I've just had half hour with him 2 nights before. I don't want to be greedy. Some important dude who's like got a camera and special microphone and stuff sort of tries to push me out of the way, tries to get in there and say, "Rob, we've got this thing to do with filming you and it's going to be awesome and we appreciate your time." He said, "Can I have 10 minutes of your time?" Robert says, "Sure. Om Devaji needs 5 minutes of my time too. He might as well come." I was so blessed and so humbled by the coordination of that experience to be in the presence of someone who is so knowledgeable, and how the great being provided me with that opportunity. Blessed am I. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev. Still amazes me today. Peace. You can subscribe if you want.